Record on this computer. Okay. And let's go share this screen. Can you guys see this? I've always wondered, can you guys see my little bar? This bar here?
It's up above, but yeah.
Okay. It's
like stable chart text.
Okay.
What are you talking about? The Zoom
bar?
bar? No, you can't see that.
Okay.
That's only you.
Okay, good. Because I don't want to have that in there. What am I looking at? I'm going to keep this over here. Okay, so how to engage with your audience today. Like I said, we're just talking a little bit about engaging with your audience, tied together with your business, and creating a sales funnel, and just a rough outline of that, just because it's different for everybody, but relatively the same in terms of the funnel aspect of it, the purpose of using Instagram in this kind of way. So let's talk about engaging with audiences. And again, like, you guys can ask me any questions along the way. And let me know if, like I said, if you guys want me to clarify anything at all. So add, your captions to get, so these are ways to really get your followers to really, to comment on your post. I always try to think about things where really just asking your followers opinions on things, using polls a lot. I personally love using polls whenever I need to have just basically just any inquiries or anything I want to share or get their opinions on anything and get them really engaged, is using polls. So asking them a question on your Instagram stories, like, what do you think about this color? Or what do you think I should do? Should I go to the beach or eat pizza or whatever it is? And then you give them these options, and then they click, and you get to see the percentage and everything. I personally I've been experimenting with that, and soon after, asking everybody's opinions in the captions. Like I said, it just really gets them engaged and helps boost up your post as well too. Send something that not a lot of people talk about, is send out DMs to your followers. To a lot of people on your Instagram stories you guys will realize that the same people will eventually look at your stories, will look forward to it, look at your content. And every so often I just scroll through it. I look at their content. I look at what they're posting. If anything, if they're having troubles with anything at all, I just really message them and just be like, hey, how's it going? I just thought I want to thank you for just following me and following my journey. And I just wanted to get your insights on something, or if you need any help, let me know. Answer all your DMs. I see a lot of people, and like, I know from like the girls, like the female side, like they got a lot of like really stuff that's just like hecklers and from like haters and stuff from like on their Instagrams. So I've seen a girl's Instagram DM IM, like their box, and they have like a lot of stuff. So like, just filter out as best as you can with that. But for me, like, every time I get a message or a DM, I always look at it right away. If it's just relevant, then I answer it. If I don't, like, if it's just something like a spam, like there's a whole bunch of spam on spam accounts in this platform. So just filtering out all that, but answer it as all of them as best as you can. Something that Luke pointed out recently, that highlights, he really wanted to know about highlights. Highlights is the ability of collecting all your stories and putting it in, and like just displaying it onto your main page. I've seen a lot of people use it in different ways, really, from subscribing to your YouTube channel to promoting any content or any products that you have, your whole fitness journey, motivations. There's a whole bunch of arrays of just ways of just promoting this. I haven't really dove too much into this yet, but I personally see just using it as a way of just really hyping yourself up, hyping other people up, and again, sticking to what is sharing value, sharing content, and sharing just all the things that you just want to do and genuinely help people along the way, right? Again, a little review here. So posting Instagram stories, be consistent, post as often as possible, and just to grow your own page and audience. Be yourself, show yourself as much as you can. I've noticed that for me personally, I still struggle with this more and more, but I want to continuously do that. And just Instagram is the best platform for it. It's just because there's 15 seconds for you just recording time, and that's conditioning yourself to go and jump into other platforms like YouTube. Like I said, something to think about in the future. Live videos as well too. So live videos, teach your audience something, bring on a guest if you have the opportunity, and incorporate. So incorporating all this into your business is, again, you guys already know all this, but adding a link to your bio, to your websites, to your products or offering or anything whatsoever. Make sure your bio reflects your business. Talk about, specials, offerings on your stories, live streams, and posts. A great tool to showcase like all these links is Linktree. Linktree, I like Linktree. I have it. I just haven't really found a way of curating all these stuff because you change all the colors and everything. It's free to use, but I recommend using it as well too. It's a great, place where for you to go and for your audience to go click on that link and just explore of what you're all about. So I think this is the most important question as you're about to go tying your Instagram page over to your business and putting it all together is, what do you want to achieve out of it, right? Whether it's sales, whether it's growing your following, whether it's selling your course, whatever it is, think about a rough idea of what you want to do with this Instagram page. And then that way that you can think about and brainstorm of ways of how to take those actions necessary to go into that direction. For me, it's really building that community, building that audience so that way they can jump into my ecosystem and take a look at my podcast, take a look at my future YouTube channel, so many different stuff that I'm preparing for in the case for the future. So that way my followers can see more of me. This is for local businesses and people who just really want to touch base with the community wherever you are. So me and Julie are local in London, Ontario. Luke, you're in the UK, and it's if you have the urge or they have the if you just want to connect with people surrounding your area or anything like that, use hashtags with your locations. Using that really generates more eyes to go look at your content to show that, hey, you're local to these people. View those local hashtags to view those accounts. There's tons and tons of content on this. I've looked and there's always things going on. You can always see different events, any places where people hang out, some places that are popular. I usually go on the London, Ontario, the Toronto one, just to look and see what everybody's up to. I didn't know there was an event last week on Toronto Island, and I did now because I was looking through the stories and people were just kind of scrolling through that. I was just, whoa, really cool. This also offers, once you go into these hashtags, you should consider the idea of collaborations with other local businesses around your area as well too. For me, it's always like that. I buy a lot of supplements from the local supplement store that's down my street. So I'm always thinking about ways of, hey, maybe I just take a picture, tag you in it, see what happens, and they did the exact same for me. So add stories to those hashtags. So that's something, using those hashtags. If you tag London, Ontario, sometimes, like I said, I don't really know how this works, but I know it's by random. Sometimes your stories will end, your stories or your posts will end up into those hashtags, and it will end up in the top post as well too, depending on the engagements. There's a mix of different things, engagements, likes, and comments. So some of the things that I was thinking about over the week was unique business ideas that what really prompted this. I have to tell you guys a little story. What really prompted this is that Valerie said to me that some of these Instagram pages really points over towards leading a free webinar, a free ebook or something like that. So that just shows that people are very they're about to be desensitized to these kind of things now, and then they're almost kind of straying away from this kind of stuff. I wouldn't say totally, but it's just something that I just really thought about, and I'm always thinking about different ways of how to bring up tie Instagram to your business and really get people engaged and for you to build that following. So running live workshops locally, contests as well too locally, host webinars, promote Facebook groups. So that way, just even a simple ask like that, actionable, action step for them, just to go over to their, if you want to grow a Facebook page, point them in that direction. And then that way, if you're there using your Facebook group, Facebook page, and just to grow your audience in that place, it's always one idea. Lead up to your email list, anything like that, any even a combination of all these things, right? Hosting a webinar to talk about a live workshop or something like that. I don't know, or just hosting a webinar that leads over to your Facebook group, and that way you can sell any products or anything like that you want to work on. Just sell to your audience whenever you like. Collaborations with other pages. So I've been really, really passionate about this recently. I've been working a lot with different companies and just their products. They're sending me products and everything. They want me to share their content. It doesn't have to be really something too complicated. For example, a company called Andor, they sent me a bunch of wallets. I bought my own, my wallet from them, and they sent me a bunch of products, and I'm going to be making a 1-minute lifestyle video for them. And that's it, basically, just for that. So like I said, something that, and I can also take these products and almost run it as a contest, so that way you can grow more followings. Also something to consider, that way cross-promoting is super key, super important, allows you to just grow your audience and grow your following base as well too. So promote each other's products or projects, anything you got going on, network with them locally if you can. So bring this outside of Instagram a little bit and bring it back is super important, I feel, just in case if Instagram one day were to shut down or something like that, something to consider. So if you have a YouTube channel or podcast, or also cross-promoting as well too, jumping on into other people's YouTube videos. I've been featured onto a travel YouTube channel by Riley, and it's called Living That Life. And it's awesome. It's so cool. And just because of that, I had a bunch of followers follow me afterwards, after when that video was launched. Being featured on other people's podcasts as well too. Definitely, Luke and I know that just podcasting is in general is moving into it's only starting. It's only starting out. It just feels like it's saturated, but it's actually not. It's still growing continuously, and it's going to be crazy from here on out to see how podcasting will integrate into our lives into the future. Events and network opportunities. These are the things that really can tie into your Instagram page, build your following, or just find out more information about these kind of events, just to go to them and just to get to know more of people into your industry. For me, it's really looking at that and really caring a lot about what I can offer personally myself to these people. So that way in the future, if you ever want to run a project or run an event together, or like I said, host a networking event, then so that way you can do that. Creating your own funnels. So this is something that many people knows, and I'm just going to go over it really quickly, is that when you offer a bunch of content for free, and then you're basically leading your audience to eventually buy your own products. For me, it's just really, I think before looking at all this, making sure that the product, you have a huge passion for the project or your offering or whatever it is that you're working on, is super important. Or else, for me personally, I wouldn't do it at all. It has to be important. It has to be, I can talk about it forever. So that's why we're here today about Instagram, guys. So yeah. Free content. So totally free content. So YouTube videos, Instagram posts, cheat sheets, PDF checklists, anything that you just want to give away, content for something of value for your audience to pick up, leading it over to a webinar, workshop, contest. I always love to, for me personally, I really, really care a lot about the content first. Has to help out people, has to for that person to take a look at it and get some value out of that before considering a lead magnet. And then jumping into the next is the lower level products, paid online course, membership access, etc. Moving down to mid-level and then high level. So mid-level is one-on-one, training, coaching, mastermind groups, and then high level is like retreats, exclusive mastermind groups, just different things that for you to consider. But this all ties into giving and curating, engaging with your audience, and building your 1,000 true fan base first. Your 1,000 true fans come first before even thinking about these kind of stuff. Above all else, stay true to yourself, have fun with it, and be yourself and be genuine about it. always sticking to that. Always stick to the 1,000 true fan base, because like I said, like this is eventually this is how you monetize your Instagram page, one way actually, but this is the way where you can actually bring them into your ecosystem. Always looking at that and always thinking about these different ways. For me, full disclosure, for me right now, it's like creating that lead magnet, the online course right now. Always offering free content, always engaging with them, always making sure that they get the value that they deserve. So that's pretty much it, guys, for this. I want to give you guys a chance to take a look at if you guys have any questions or anything like that. Julie, Luke, anyone?
Yep. 1 second. I'm just writing down some notes quick.
Notes. I like it. I saw Julie doing it too, so I love it. But yeah, so let me see if I can stop share. Is that it? Yeah, stop share. Okay, cool, sweet.
So one of the things that I like the idea of is with the story highlights.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things, it's kind of like the thing that I showed you the other day, but something I've been thinking a little bit more about is I think it can work really well as a entry point into your sales funnel as well.
Yes.
Because especially if you have not necessarily multiple income streams, because your pages, your profile is going to be around one topic. But if you have like multiple entry points into your sales funnel that lead to the same end product, you can create a different highlight for each of those different funnels. So I really like that idea and how you can play with that to then lead towards your low, middle, and high-end products.
Yes, I agree.
One thing that I disagree with something that you put down there is the sales funnel, just like how you've highlighted them as if what each thing is.
Yeah,
I think you're one step out on some of them. I think the freak. I think you're like a step out. Like if you can you like get the image up?
Mm-hmm. Here.
Yeah, that one. So the free content, I completely agree with, like YouTube videos, Instagram posts, like blog posts, podcasts, all of that. Mm-hmm. The part about the cheat sheets, I think needs to go into the lead magnet, because that's something that should go with whatever your content is about.
I agree.
And then that's how you get that. So I would move that into the lead magnet section. I completely disagree that paid online courses, membership access is low-level products. I think that should be mid-level. And that the low-level product would be a part of that to tease them into your mid-level product. So, for example, if you have like this course, for example, that you're creating now, that one section that we did like 2-3 weeks ago, just about the difference between what you should be posting on your profile and what you should be posting on your story, and the you're talking about like theming out the post.
Yes.
That alone, you could sell that for like $20-$30 and would work really well, and that would be your low level product. But if you want the whole kit and caboodle, the whole Instagram training, it's $300-$400. That's your mid level product. So I think pulling parts out of your mid level product should be your low level product, and then the whole one-on-one training kind of like in between mid and high end. But then the high end stuff I completely agree with.
I love that. And it's true. And it all depends on how you want to structure it. And everybody has different ways of structuring in their own ways as well too.
Yeah.
I agree with you. You're right. Like there are some memberships access and online courses out there that are considered, mid-level and even high level sometimes, right? Some things that are exclusive and mastermind groups, and for you to like be surrounded with like-minded people, and for me, yeah, you're right. Like the cheat sheet does end up in the lead magnet as well too. For me, it's just something like I always think about all the time, where I'm always offering more content, more value. It's not too difficult to come up with a cheat sheet. I can literally come up with like an hour and then put it up there. It just, you're right. The lead magnets tie in together. It could end up over in the lead magnet as well too.
I mean, technically the lead magnet is still free content. It's just that's the transition from just being an audience member into getting into your sales funnel to being a potential customer.
Yes.
I think that's the first point of them entering into the funnel.
Yes. Where I think it's wonderful to point this out is that where people blow it is that they try to sell their products or everything up front before they even got to know their audience first.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where people usually blow it. I think after the reason why we want to show ourselves more is that way they connect with you and they build that trust in a genuine way, right? Like people use it
Agreed.
in a salesy kind of way. They know that they're going to lead into this funnel. But the fact is that if you're really genuine about it and really care and share your content, I think that's important first, that trust. And then that way they'll be like, okay, if Paul's hosting a webinar or Julie is hosting a webinar, yes, go into it. And then this is where you kind of think about the sales part of it. But yeah.
Yeah, because I think the thing I was talking about, the story highlights, you could create, a different highlight for each individual cheat sheet that you've got. So,
Yes.
You can have however many posts that you want at the beginning, to, either tease the YouTube video, tease the podcast, whatever beforehand.
Yes.
Then you'd have the link to this is the podcast, this is the YouTube video, this is the actual post. And then if you're not linking them to that other article, then the final one would be, this is the lead magnet that goes with it. This is the cheat sheet that goes with it. This is whatever the additional resource that accompanies that free piece of content that's, obviously blowing people's minds.
Yeah.
It's just another way to get them into your funnel. And I just think it would work really nicely on Instagram, or one way of working really nicely on Instagram is doing it in that way.
Yes, I agree. And it comes for me, and I hope everyone watching this recording as well too is that knows that you have to have a passion for it. A lot of people
Of course.
want to, and a lot of people have asked me actually, why don't you get into the fitness industry? And I said, I don't know how to make it uniquely mine yet, and I refuse to do it at all.
Mm-hmm.
I can teach people how to get abs, six-pack abs. I can be like but I don't want to. There's no, it has to be something that is uniquely mine and that people really want to have, right? So that's what I usually think about. And then something that I've said to Julie before is like, they don't buy from you until they see the content about 7 times. I don't know what that's a magical.
Yeah. There needs to be like 7 interaction points on average.
Yeah. That's a lot. And number one, why not just build that into your Instagram page and connect with your audience in a more genuine way? And then when the time comes, yes, then you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that, man. Need more questions?
Yeah, there were just some of the things that I
love that.
Like picked up on and thought about whilst you were going through that.
Yeah. Any other questions? I love that.
Not for me.
No, Julie? No. But yeah, I think number one, I think by the end of all of this is that what I'm trying to relay is that the more that people trust you and the more that you show yourself, that's when you're able to connect with your audience more. I don't watch a lot of YouTube, but when I do, it's usually someone like Gary Vaynerchuk, Peter McKinnon. He does a lot of photography. I like him because I know a little bit about him. I know he's married and he has kids in Newmarket, Ontario, Canada, and he loves photography and he has to have his coffee in the morning or else he doesn't function. That's hilarious. Like, I know that, right? So, and that doesn't happen overnight. That's just consistently showing your content more and more in your own kind of way. But yeah. So,
and that's also sort of like, if you wanted to get to that level, it's also, getting comfortable with being that transparent with your audience too.
Yeah. And that just requires you being on like your phone and just talking about whatever you believe in, right? Or your content or your niche, whatever your space you're in, right? So I love that. Oh man. So yeah. So that's pretty much it. And I'm going to